everyone, and welcome to A Breath of Fresh Marketing. I'm your host, Melissa Psihudakis. So Kent Jenkins, known to his followers as Snubby J, is famous on YouTube for his music videos featuring his homemade RimbaTubes, a PVC pipe instrument that was inspired by Blue Man Group. His YouTube channel has almost 500,000 subscribers and has been viewed over 100 million times worldwide. Snubby J in the house.
What's up, Melissa?
What's going on?
Oh, you know, just chilling.
That's awesome. So welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah, my real name is Kent. I go by Snubby J. I'm from Oregon, transplanted to Los Angeles mostly, and I'm a creator, musician, and just trying to spread light and love with the world.
Nice. So how did you come up with Snubby J? I have to know.
You know, it's a funny story. It really came down to my name, Kent, is already too short of a nickname, and I really wanted a nickname as a kid. Like William to Will, or I don't know, Melissa to Mel, maybe. And so I was just hopping in the car with my family, and I don't know if I was trying to channel like Kenny G or P Diddy with these like kind of one name that and like a letter, and it just came out of nowhere, just Snubby J. And I didn't even know what snub meant at the time. So here I am all these years later. I made it my YouTube channel, and that's what I go by.
That's pretty awesome. I like that.
Yeah. Very silly, no nonsense name.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So can you explain what a RimbaTube is and how you play it?
Yeah, RimbaTubes is my name for a PVC pipe instrument. It's just a homemade plumbing pipe instrument with all these different lengths of pipe. And I have these homemade paddles, kind of like a flip-flop foam, and you just bang on the top of these open-ended tubes, and they create different pitches that I can make music.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So how did you come about creating it? Did you just like wake up one day and you're like, I need to do this?
Somewhat. I grew up playing piano. I was fascinated with marimbas in school, but the Blue Man Group, I saw I saw a billboard for the Blue Man Group in Las Vegas, and that inspired me to check out their CD, and I immediately fell in love with their music. And I saw their show, and they make all these cool tunes of their own, but also cover some songs on these plumbing pipes. And I was just fascinated by the sound enough that I begged my dad. I was like, Dad, we got to build one of these. And 6 months later, we spent a summer and we made it happen.
That's awesome. And do you play any other instruments?
So I did grow up playing piano. I dabbled in other stuff in school, but I was really self-taught in percussion. And it wasn't until college that I like tried ukulele and accordion, and now I have a bigger repertoire of instruments I can play.
That's cool. Actually, I just bought my daughter. She's 3. I got her a ukulele.
Yes.
And it's really...
Is it like a mini size? Like, how does that...
So, like, for her, it's like a guitar.
Right. Oh, wow.
She's little. So, I got it for her, and she's like, oh, Mommy, thanks for the guitar. I'm like, you know what? You know, when I was her age, I also got one, and it was Christmas time, same thing. And, you know, I was 3 and I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I got her that. So we kind of call it a guitar for right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it comes with picks and everything. It comes with like a musical note book and everything. And it's really cool. So
that's why I was attracted to it. It's just so easy to pick up and start, you know, basic chords and start making music.
Yeah. And I went on YouTube and I was looking up, like, you know, because I took guitar back in the day when I was in high school. And I remember like the first song I learned was Nirvana's Come As You Are.
Wow.
So there I was like, doom, 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 doom. And I was trying to get it, you know. And
oh, that's so rad.
She's like,
very cool.
She's like, give it to me, Mommy. It's mine. I'm like, no, I want to play with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get my own.
Yep. I love it. Mini ukulele orchestra. Family home.
No, it's so cool. I'm trying to get her into music. Like, you know, my mother got her like this little mini piano baby grand.
Yeah.
And I got her the ukulele, and I wanted her to try everything and you know, see what
it's so vital. And I owe so much of my musical journey to my family. My parents, my mom bought, we had a couple pianos around our house, but they encouraged me to keep going with piano lessons. And that gave me the training to then pick up this instrument and play what I do now, because I had that ingrained with me, and I hated it. I like admittedly did not like piano lessons through the majority of my like latter elementary, middle school time. But come high school, it was cool to know how to play music, and I was so grateful for that because it made all the difference for my career.
Well, speaking of high school,
Yeah.
you had a video that went viral, didn't
Yes, I did. It's so funny enough, I started this in high school, and then I went to college, and that was the very first video I did in my dorm room talent show freshman year was the one that went crazy viral, and that was 10 years ago. And now it's like even crazier, like that it keeps circulating around. But for me, it's just that the viral sensation of it is just so surreal. Like here I was just doing the thing, and it blew up, but I didn't control it. Like I just uploaded a video willy nilly, and that's what got picked up on Reddit and then all these other sites, and it's unreal.
That's awesome. I feel like, you know, sometimes you never know what's going to go viral. And I was watching a TikTok video the other day, and this girl, so random, but I'm going to share it with you.
Please.
She's sitting there in the ER, and they're like, the doctor has like tweezers in the girl's ear, and she has like her messages like flashing up on
TikTok style.
I'm like trying to read it as fast as possible because it kept changing
So much.
And she's like, yeah, I can't believe my video went viral, but she went to sleep and a bug crawled in her ear. And I'm waiting with great anticipation with the rest of the world to see what they were going to pull out of her ear. And she said it was so loud because it got so deep into her ear that she said it sounded like a marching band or like just something super loud in her head. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then finally they pulled it out, and it was a carpenter ant.
Just a little tiny little, wow.
It was big though. It was a big. And it was dead because she said when she felt something go in her ear, she dumped olive oil in her ear to drown it, which was really smart.
Is that bad for her eardrum though? I have so many questions.
No, because, well, from what I read, which was totally unrelated to this story, was that if you have an abundance of earwax in your ear or anything like that, where you have like a ear infection, you can put olive oil in your ear. It's like a homeopathic thing.
Wow. Okay.
And she thought, hey, let me drown whatever crawled in my ear, because she knew there was some sort of insect in her ear. Yep. And they pulled it out, and she showed like the picture of the dead carpenter ant, which was super gross. And I was like, whoa, but her video went viral where it's like millions of people. And then she did like a part 2 and she did a part 3. And I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you just never know what's going to go viral.
You literally never know. And it's the stuff you always want to try to have go viral that does not go viral. So it's just being authentic and sticking with it though. And then something is bound to pick up.
Yeah, for sure. So that's cool. So it was surreal for you.
Yeah, so surreal. And still is. You know, it's hard to fathom a million of anything. It really is. And that was the first time, like within a week, got 1 million views. It's been doing it ever since.
I wish I can get 1 million views in a week, but
it's so gratifying and affirming too, especially as an artist, to be able to like have that kind of recognition, even if it's just in viewership and some nice comments. It really means a lot. And
there's always that jerk that makes that like one negative comment where you're like,
oh yeah,
whatever, you hater.
It's important to have those too. It gives you some humility. Grounds you.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's some people that could be like really hard out there. I saw one earlier on one of the videos I was thumbing through, and he said to the woman, he goes, your makeup makes you look like you're 45. He said, but I found out you're only 31. And I'm like, what a jerk. So she wrote back and said, did you see all the hot 45-year-olds on TikTok? She's like, so thank you. And I'm like, perfect.
Bennett, yes. Yeah, turn that toxic masculinity upside down on his face.
Right, yeah, I love that. So good for her.
Good.
So if you hadn't gotten famous with RimbaTubes, what do you think you'd be doing?
I would...
my God.
You know, I would say I would still be doing my thing. Like that's the joy of this. Is like I'm passionate about making music, creating theater, doing performance. That regardless if it's for 1 million followers or if it's for just a 20-person audience, I think there's something about the joy of sharing that experience or the story or the music, whatever it is. But I'm just such a giver that like if it wasn't like out of entertainment, I would be doing some type of service thing. I remember taking a quiz and being a funeral manager director was an option. That was a career for me. That was like one of those like tests you take in high school, and it was like you should work in a funeral home. And I was like, huh, I guess that'd be interesting. So if nothing music related, I don't know, I'd be curious about that, just to share my joy and energy for others in a good way, a positive way.
That's awesome. So playing RimbaTubes has taken you all over the world. What's the farthest place you've traveled, and what was it for?
I had the privilege of doing some corporate shows in India just about 14 months ago. It was the end of 2019, and I found through an online group or some YouTube videos, there's a group called the Origins Percussions, and they are based in Sri Lanka. And they're just a percussion group, but they have pipes as well. And so I reached out. I was like, hey guys, I'm doing these shows in India. Any chance I can like fly to you for a weekend and just jam? And Sri Lanka is just south of India, so I just did a quick little puddle jumper hopper flight and got to meet these guys in this rural area of Sri Lanka. So to be on the clear other side of the world and connecting with other people through music, I think that was kind of a powerful experience. Probably the furthest I've been for that kind of thing.
That's pretty awesome. So like, where are your RimbaTubes? So like, do you sleep next to them? Like, can you bust them out right now?
Most cases, yeah. I'm in Oregon with my family at the moment, and I do have a set up here, and I have a set with me in Los Angeles, and then I have a transportable set, and that's one I take abroad or nationally if I have a big gig of some sort. But usually I lived in New York temporarily, and I literally had it right next to my bed in my tiny apartment. And you just make do with what you got.
Nice. Do you have them by you now?
I don't. They're in my other room, my playroom.
Can you get them?
We could walk over. Do you want to do a little music?
Yeah, let's do it.
Take a tour. All right.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
It's funny because oh,
it's scary.
There's my family. Hi, family.
Hi, family.
Here we go. What's funny is this is actually this is my childhood home, right? So like this is where I started just playing video games and playing with my friends, and now it's literally just turned into my playroom of music making. So this is the original instruments. The first one I built in 2007. So if you're watching this, not just on audio right now, you can probably see it. I keep my cord with me.
Wow,
keep bending down so you can see it. But this one's huge because I built this one section in the middle. It's 2 octaves. Set up like a piano. And then I expanded to have some higher notes, and I expanded to have some lower notes. And then just recently, I added this baby octave where you can get even higher, shorter notes. So I've got this giant like 4 octave span now, and it's helpful when I do like my clone videos. I can get a lot of cool effects and a lot of different sounds.
Wait, play me something.
Play something? Yeah. What do you have in mind? So maybe like public domain stuff just for licensing?
Yeah, but I don't know, play like something that's like your favorite, like you know really well that you enjoy playing. Like, what's your favorite song to play?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, let me do. I've got a favorite like original song. I call it "Experience of Sound." I'll just give you a little snippet of that, but it starts off kind of quiet and then gets rocking by the end. So,
okay.
looking over the Zoom speaker.
Oh, it totally did. So let me just tell you, like, when you just started taking off at that one point in the song, it was like I got chills. I really got chills.
I'm honored. Thank you.
That was so cool. And then I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden it was like, bah, bah, bah. And it's funny because whenever someone says I'm going to play an original song, you never know, like, okay, it's going to be, you know, like an original song that's like,
moody
I'm getting into it. Or like, I heard that and I was like immediately into it. I'm
into it.
Like, this is a hit. This is awesome.
Thanks, Melissa. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, happy to share.
I love that. Yeah, really cool.
Thanks.
So I feel like I'm at a concert, like it was like a live concert. And I'm like,
virtual private one-on-one concert, and hopefully whoever's listening.
I know. Do you do lessons? Like, do you teach people?
You know, funny enough, I'm starting some school workshops. I kind of wanted to give back to like high school, middle school kids because that's when I was getting inspired to do this. That now I'm through my website, I have like a little form for people to sign up. So it's not too many people have like RimbaTubes that they have for themselves. So I can't really do lessons typically, but that's where I usually try to like jam with somebody if I'm like in the area and I'm like, hey, I know you live in like Seattle, like any chance you're like around, I'm happen to be in town for a show. And it's kind of a fun opportunity to meet other musicians that play these as well.
Yeah, and it's not something you can like, you know, when you're a kid and you like play an instrument and you get on the bus, like you can't like carry that shit on.
No. And that's why I have that transportable one with the suitcases. It's just very cumbersome, but it's useful to be able to pop up places.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I really did enjoy that. Like, I'm not just saying that.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you have so many different colored RimbaTubes. Do you have like one set and you just like repainted it, or?
So
like-
funny enough, I do have. There's this set I call the KaleidoTubes, and they're rainbow. And I recently repainted those because I was just tired of having to touch them up and they would get damaged in travel, that I painted them like kind of a bronze and goldish color. So I have to rebrand it now to call them the MetalliTubes because they're not quite like kaleidoscopic rainbow anymore. But that's where I've only painted those a different color. Everything else I kind of just touch up. So I have like the silver set, and then I've got a red and blue one, and now the MetalliTubes.
Oh, like
Metallic.
Yeah, that's cool. So do you have any crazy travel stories that you can share?
So the funny one is I was going to Minneapolis, and I was in like that airport in Minnesota, and I remember it was one of my first times traveling with all 3 of these giant suitcases for this instrument that I travel. It's like one is just the pipes and the bass, and another one is just a bunch of the pipes and the elbows, and then the other one's like a toolkit, and then I have my other suitcase for clothes, you know, just my own travel stuff for the shows. And I remember trying to get on an escalator, and that was a big, big, big no-no. I hopped on with 2 in one hand and then 2 in the other, and the first one just started to fall down the stairs of it. And thankfully, it was an early morning, no one else is there. But my most embarrassing travel story would be falling down an escalator with all my suitcases in an airport.
Yeah, that's like
not fun.
At all.
Learned my lesson.
So have your RimbaTubes ever gotten damaged in transit?
It's funny. I think the only time was when I was headed to Singapore. I had a gig where they just get a little bit scratched up in transit naturally, like in the suitcases, and so like especially the international flight, like just kind of getting schlepped around. I had to really quickly find a store in Singapore and buy a bunch of spray paint and repaint it right before a show. That was a little nerve-wracking because I don't know, I want to be able to put my best foot forth with a show always, and to like show up at a place that was like it was a F1, like Formula One race kind of a street event, and it just did not look like a professional instrument, and it's already kind of a novel thing that I wanted to look good, so I rushed to the store, found some spray paint, and did a last minute touch up job.
I can imagine that TSA probably flags you and like, what is this?
Yep. Yeah, and actually it was we're flying over, and we had a layover in Manila, the Philippines, and they had a big, every foreigner had to stop and get their bag opened in front of security, and they look at me, and I was like, it's music, please trust me, I swear. And they're like, Okay. Not a pipe bomb. It's music.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite genre of music you like to play?
I tend to, like the rock music, video games, movie themes, but what's special about this instrument is it kind of crosses all genres. And I remember having a special moment at a college show in Wyoming where somebody asked for country music. And I don't really have many country songs in my repertoire, nor do I really listen to country music. But I was like, oh, I could pull out something like Country Roads. And they're like, yeah, let's do that. And so I did it. And it was like this really beautiful, just light, simple arrangement, and there was like chills among the whole crowd like afterward, and it was a really special moment to be like, oh wow, like just connecting with people through music in whatever ways we can had a powerful impact. So that's like a example I always think of, because I have my favorites, but it's always depending on the circumstance and who I'm with that it makes it special.
Absolutely. Yeah. So when you auditioned for season 5 of Americans Got Talent, you played Crazy Train.
Yeah, I'm so glad you remember that. So Crazy Train season 5.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Crazy Train was one of the earliest songs I wanted to learn. It's in the Blue Man show. They cover that song as well, and that was what kind of drew me to like, oh wow, this is kind of cool to hear this like recognizable rock song on these pipes. So I had a simple arrangement where I was just doing the bass line and the melody, but being me, I wanted to like take it to the next level. That for that show, I did it for the first time where I did the double time thing. So people have seen my videos. I play Crazy Train, and then I kind of go crazier with the Crazy Train and kind of do these 16th notes where I'm like, rotating back and forth really fast. And that was, I think, like 3 years into my playing, so it took a while to develop that, but that was the first time I had the thought, and it was in front of Sharon Osbourne. She was a judge at the time, so to be able to play that song and have her be like, your musical choice was just fantastic. I was like, yes, thank you. Very special.
I like her. I like Sharon.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
She seems really cool.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite event to perform at?
I would say house concerts. And it sounds kind of lame, but it's these intimate shows in Los Angeles which we cannot do right now because of COVID. But my roommate used to host one, and to be able to share in this kind of intimate music incubator with others that appreciate and want to be there, it's the most like nurturing hug of a concert you could ever imagine. And to be able to like share new work there and have it just be well received and have like conversations with people afterwards, those are my favorite types of shows, hands down. As fun as like big events and like, TikTok videos are, it's like that's when you can really connect with people. And I think that's the power of these kind of shared experiences. Performance.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's been over 10 years now that you've been performing with the Blue Man Group?
So yeah, well, funny enough, I was inspired by the Blue Man Group, but I never was officially a Blue Man. But in recent years, I got to collaborate with them, and that was basically the dream come true. Yeah. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. So how has that changed you as a musician over the years?
I would say, definitely, I think when it comes to Blue Man, being rejected helped me define more of my performance style. And so maybe I don't know if I've definitely grown as a musician, but I feel like as a performer, entertainer, just a creator in general, I've developed more, finding my own voice and finding ways I can share my music in a creative and engaging way. So rather than just like being stoic and serious like a Blue Man would with performance, is having more fun, being a little more loose, and discovering the nuances and possibilities of, I don't know, like the clone videos or special guest collaborations. I think that's where I've developed the most is thinking how to present the music best. Okay.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So, you had mentioned connecting with the audience before, and, that makes me think of the lack of us able to connect with audiences today because of the pandemic. How have you been affected by the pandemic?
Well, funny enough, I was trying to live in New York City. I was dedicating my career to being a theater artist at the beginning of 2020, and then everything shut down. I moved back home with my family, and it actually helped me in a weird way. It recommitted me to dig deep into my content creation, and I had never even heard about TikTok until like January 2020 when I was like, what is this? Like, how does this actually work? and now here I am like a year later adopting that as more of my title because I'm developing such a following on there and Instagram. So honestly, 2020 was awful. It really changed the way musicians and performers have to exist and find our realities. But everyone is hungry for content right now. Like, we are stuck at home and we want to connect. And so finding these innovative ways to share what I do and meet people in new ways. And I don't know, it's a blessing in disguise to have like really simplified my life. So not sporadically running around the world trying to do shows. It's like, no, I'm here. This is the thing. And I can do it in just this small proscenium of the screen.
Absolutely. So you recently hit 1 million followers on TikTok. Which,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What did you do to celebrate that? It's pretty big.
Well, funny, I was in the middle of a 25 days of RimbaTubes challenge for myself, which was like a holiday. Like, I wanted to do 25 holiday tunes back to back every day. So I was in the middle of that I was kind of just focused on that I shot a video just to say, hey, thank you for 1 million. Wow, this is awesome. That it wasn't until I got home and my sister surprised me with some 1 million follower cookies that she ordered. So I had like little pictures of like the RimbaTubes or paddles, or it said like 1 million followers, congratulations. And that was a really special celebration. And I have a sweet tooth, so I really appreciated that surprise.
Nice. That's really cool. You have a very nice sister.
Yeah, she's supporting me all the way through. Like, she was my inspiration as a kid, like get into piano, to dance, and now she's kind of helping me manage all of this stuff. So I'm really grateful for her.
Oh, that's cool. Is she a younger sister or older sister?
2 years older, off by 1 day. So we kind of sometimes pretend to be twins because we're like, June 25th and she's June 26th, and it just it feels that way. Very sweet.
So who would you love to collaborate with in the future?
I love collaborating. I think it's, there's so much limitations with just me performing on my own. I'm definitely into more like performer and musician together. So people like Walk Off the Earth or OK Go. We'd be down for like someone like Weird Al Yankovic. Like, I don't know, just like the zaniness of it. But also just like Blue Man Group again. I really enjoyed the couple times I've worked with them, and I'm excited because especially through TikTok, it's so easy to meet and collaborate with other like-minded creatives that I'm hoping that this platform and others, we can keep stuff happening.
Yeah, for sure. And TikTok's so addicting too.
It's very addicting. Yeah.
Sitting there swiping and reading and swiping and reading and liking and commenting, and
it's hard to keep track on the commenting, and too, like, I really want to keep that personal engagement, but it's really hard, especially like the tags too, to like when something gets reshared with your sounds, like trying to track all that stuff and make sure people are still doing everything right. It's a monster.
I know it totally is, but that's awesome that you're engaged like that on there.
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah. I'm sure your followers appreciate that because people always like, oh, he commented back.
I'm still in that, and like I think of when I was a kid, I was still now. It's like when my idols and heroes like engage with me, like that meant so much, and it's weird to be in those shoes now, but it's like trying to give back in that same kind of sense of like, no, bolstering them to like be inspired. If you want to build your own, like do it, and you have a song request, and know it's like everyone has their vision of what this could be, and I like to be able to be that yes person that can fill that out for them.
Absolutely. So what's next for you?
I don't know. That's what's exciting is I take it a day at a time. I do have some plans. I'm going to be relaunching a Patreon soon to make this a little bit more sustainable, as well as starting a weekly video series of this that kind of gives me some more long-term projection and kind of connective tissue so people can keep tuning in and figuring out what I had so much fun in the holiday season doing the holiday tunes. So that's kind of a vision. And I have a couple like big shows that might be happening that I'm excited about, but I can't really release those yet. But some stuff is on the way, and it's just kind of planning the long term while also catering to the short term of like, oh, that sounds fun, let's do that cover, and popping it on there. All
right, that's awesome. Hopefully when you can let me know, I'll find out about it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the sad thing is like I can already tell that we're not going to have like real live shows for another year at least. So it's like, how can we still make the most of this time and keep growing and keep sharing good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us? And where can we find you online, your social media handles, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'm at Snubby J. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram mostly. I have a YouTube channel. I'm just putting a lot more energy on those sites now. And if you're interested in a workshop or any other kind of performance, hit me up online. You can check out my website, snubbyj.com, for a lot more details.
Awesome. Well, great. Kent, aka Snubby J, so awesome to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege. Thank you, Melissa. That was a lovely conversation.
Thank you. I love the performance. It's just
thank you. Fun to share that.
Yeah. You were like, yeah, right here. And you're just like, so awesome.
It's a fun tune to crank out.
Yeah, I love it. And what was the name of that song again?
I call that Experience of Sound. It's actually not available anywhere other than my Bandcamp, but I've got a bunch of other originals and covers on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. Well, we'll look out for that. Thanks again, and I wish you the best of luck. Yes. Happy 2021. Yes, you too. All right. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Here. Bye. And thank you so much for tuning in, everybody, to A Breath of Fresh Marketing. Have a good one.